Yes, I'm going to talk about the name tags, but not quite yet, although I will say, how many of you used them already? Yeah, you saw somebody you didn't know, you didn't remember their name, and now you know who they are. But I'll come back to that thought in a minute. First, I want to talk about where we are in the calendar year. You see, January is a month of resolutions kept. Some of us made plans to read more and use social media less. Others committed to reducing their carbon footprint to save the universe. January is 4 weeks of weight loss programs and healthy eating protocols. It is 31 days of exercise plans and daily Peloton rides. January is alcohol-free and calorie slim. In short, January is no fun. Now that February has arrived, the joy in life has been restored. Starting yesterday, you can eat and drink and lounge around the house without any guilt. You can ignore climate change. You can binge Netflix while surfing Facebook and Instagram because all of your resolutions have now been broken. Just 1 month into the new year, and we are failures. At least that is what the statistics suggest. According to Time magazine, by February, 80% of Americans have given up their New Year's resolutions. And by the end of the year, only 8% of us have upheld just one of our commitments for the entire year. By all accounts, that is a pretty terrible track record. So recognizing that dilemma, I looked to Jewish tradition for a little bit of guidance. Quite literally, this week, when I was ending my own dry January, I found myself looking to the Torah for a bit of inspiration. And in this week's Torah portion, we find Moses and the Israelites at the very beginnings of their wanderings through the desert. Desperate for some kind of societal structure, Moses has already become overwhelmed with his responsibilities of being the community leader. Having resolved to guide our people alone, Moses realizes that that commitment is not sustainable. So he does what every rational person would do. He consults his father-in-law for advice. And the story goes like this. Moses is exhausted. He has been forced to stand as the judge for every disagreement in the community. So his father-in-law, Jethro, approaches him and asks, "Why do you sit alone with all these people standing by you from morning until evening?" Moses explains, "Well, when they have a matter, they come to me. I judge between this one and that one, and I make them know what God's instructions are." But Jethro's response is powerful and directive. "What you are doing, Moses, is not good. You will surely wear away, you as well as this people that is with you. For this thing is too heavy for you. You are not able to perform it alone." And what happens next is legendary. Moses actually listens. He takes that advice. He appoints judges and magistrates to help him. He creates a social order, and his earlier resolution to be the best leader that he can be takes shape. And he more easily guides our ancestors through the wilderness along the path to the promised land with Miriam and Aaron. Now, the Torah is teaching us that it is always more challenging to go it alone. If we take on all of our own personal commitments and resolutions by ourselves, we are destined to fail. At least 92% of us are. Only then, with other people in our community by our side, can we truly seek success. Only if we really ask other people for help will we achieve our goals. And only if we know each other will we be able to ask for that help. I'm talking about really knowing each other, not just sitting next to each other in a sanctuary. But if we actually do this work together, we can be better at everything. And one of the first steps I've found to getting to know another person is actually to know their name. So it must be all coming together for you now. You understand why it is I've asked every single person in our sanctuary tonight to create a name tag for this Shabbat experience. I am calling this Resolution Support Shabbat. And the name tags are to make sure that we know each other by name. Tonight we give each other amnesty. In case you don't remember the person you've been sitting next to for the last few months, you don't even have to ask. Even though you've prayed with each other for years, you may not know somebody else's names. Whether this is your first night at Temple Israel or your 1000th, you don't tonight need to ask anybody anything. Just walk up and say hello, and your problem is solved. So tonight you are actually free to build a new relationship, starting with a 7-layer cake, and then somebody else's name. And I'm going to ask you to take this seriously. When we are done in the sanctuary, approach somebody else and ask how you can help them achieve their goals. Share your dreams with one another and build on that support that you might get. Because together we are stronger than we are standing alone. Statistics actually say that you will be more likely to succeed with an ambition if you share it with someone else in your life. And I know this firsthand, because that is exactly the strategy I used when running my first marathon. I came home from an appointment in my office. I was feeling a little bit unhappy with myself, and I told my family I was going to run a marathon. I shared my goal, and they all said to me, "No chance." And then something magical happened. Every day, after every single run, my wife, my kids were there. They were encouraging me along that experience. They praised me for my determination. And then on race day, they were literally there, encouraging me at 3 different places along the race route. During the race itself, I actually taped my name on the front of my shirt, and strangers cheered from the side of the road. It was inspiring. They helped me finish. It was my personal goal, but a family achievement and a community success. And for your clergy, I'm telling you, tonight is golden, because you won't have to walk up to us and ask that most awful question, "Do you remember my name?" By the way, don't ever do that. Instead, just come up to your clergy and ask us what we are resolving to do this year. How can you help us? And we will see your name, we'll ask you similar questions, and the relationship will grow. That way, we will all be working together, following Jethro's sage advice to allow other people in, to build a community of success, to build a community where we all change the world together. So tonight, my prayer is that we will all achieve our resolutions, that we will all yearn to be greater than this moment, not individually, but together as a holy community. So happy February and Shabbat Shalom.